Hi, I've been asked to do a video on a workshop I did a while ago on colouring hair and skin, just so you can have a refresher. So, okay, let's get on, because I can't make the video too long. I'll have to do it in little chunks, otherwise I won't be able to send it out. So, right, I'm using Pro Markers. The paper is super smooth. I've printed it on the computer. It might bleed a little because I've only just printed it on the computer. So for the principle is you need a light, a medium and a dark tone. So I have blush, coral and sun-kissed pink. Okay, blush first, sun-kissed pink next, coral is the darkest. So I'm just going to do, I'm not going to do the neck and all for now. I'll just concentrate on the face. So you need to lay down some colour onto your paper, onto your image, so that the rest of the colours, when you apply them, will blend nicely. So they've got something to blend against. I'm using the fast end of this because I've blown the image up really large so that you can see, or hopefully see, what I'm doing, because the camera is mounted really quite far away from where, on the shelf where I'm working. So, okay, so I'm just laying some colour down. I'm not being particularly careful about it because this is the first lay down of colour, and we will be blending and things on top. So I'm trying to work as quick as I can, so that I am able to send these, you know, this video across to people as they ask for it, and sometimes the files are too big to send on Facebook. So, okay, I have the face coloured now. So now you know to start to look at where the shading would naturally be, and the shading for me, I think, would be, and for everyone obviously, would be underneath the hairline. So I'm just going to lay some of the colour down, not too heavy handed, because the heavier handed you are, the more you have to lay your inks down. So I'm just going across under the hairline there. I'm going across here on her eye. I'm also coming down the side for where the hair naturally lies against her cheek. And I'm also going to go, but this side comes down a little further because the hairline comes down, you know, it's more sweeping around her face. So you can see where I've laid it down. Then go in with the mid colour, which is the sun-kissed pink, and just gently blend out that line so it's not so harsh of the coral that you put down. Just gently blend it out. You don't really want to see the lines where the two of them meet. So gently, again, not too much pressure, just gently blending out that edge line of where the coral was left. Okay, so you can see what's happened now. So I'm going to take the blush, and I'm going to use the fast end just to make it quicker. And now I'm going to blend out the coral lines. Okay, not the coral lines, sorry, the sun-kissed pink lines. Bring it down to her chin to start with. Okay, and then I'm gonna give it another lay down of colour all over because it was patchy when I put it down, and this way it gives it an even skin tone. Across her eyes again, and down and covering the whole of her face now. Okay, so once the alcohol evaporates off, now you can only see really light there, you can't really see the mid-tones and the dark tones, but you will on your own work. And once it's dry, you can go in and you can add or take away more. So here I have a particularly harsh line where the coral is, so I'm going to go in and just blend that out. Okay, so that's the face. You would do the neck the same, and you would put some shade line in underneath there. So I'll just start the neck off and show you, because I don't really need to colour the whole of the neck in. Again, lay down the colour in with the coral underneath where her neck is. Sun-kissed pink, blend out that harsh line. Then blush to blend out the harsh line. And you can see more there, better on the neck as it's drying, the way that the shade is coming in nicely. I'll leave it to dry. It looks different again when it's dry. Now I'll move on to the hair. Okay, so Pro Markers, 3 of my favourite colours, dark, medium, light, are sandstone, caramel as the middle one and Cocoa as the dark one. But my Pro markers are absolutely running out. So I'm going to continue with the Nuvo pens. Same principle. 3 different colours in the brown. I've got 461, 463 and 465. Okay, I don't really know what these are like. I've not used them before, so a little bit of a journey. So I'm going to start with the lightest one, which is 461. Now you can see the shading naturally on this image that I'm using today. Okay, so if you start with your pen upright and flick from, all I'm doing is just flick lines, okay? Follow in. I'm just going to work on a small section, because if you think about all the hair you've got to do, it becomes really intimidating. So flick from where the natural shade of the drawn image is up towards the middle of the section. Now, once you've done one end, flick it nice and keep your hands light, keep it gentle, you know, don't press too hard, just flicks, little flicks. Okay, turn it round, turn your work round, it's easier, and start on each section and flick down again. Flick down towards where you've just done. It doesn't have to meet, it can have, you know, a big gap across there for now, because you will fill it in as you go. Keep your strokes really light, go the way the hair goes, the way it's drawn. And turn your work. It's easier to do it away from yourself. Once you get into it, you'll be able to do it both ways like this. You know, you can flick down. You'll find your strokes with more practice will come easier. Okay, so now you can see a natural gap across there where the light had hit. There we are. So that's the lighter tone. I'm going to go in now with the darkest tone for me, which is 6.5. For you would be the Cocoa if you were using Pro markers. And do the same thing, flick up, but I'm not flicking up as far as where I put that first lot of colour. You know, I'm giving it some gap in between so that you can still see the lighter colour underneath. I'm not going too heavy with this one. You can add more, you cannot take it away. So you can now see where we're going with this. So turn it round, flick it. If a few stray ones happen, you know, the dark ones, don't worry. Don't worry, it'll blend out once you put your second one in, your next colour down, so don't worry. So we're just flicking, turning your work round, flicking. There we are. So that's your second colour. Then go in with your mid-tone and flick exactly the same as you've just done. This then tends to blend them together, so you don't see all the odd lines, but it blends really nicely, so it's like a gradient of colour. Again, turn your work. I'm moving quite quickly, you can take your time. You can actually hear the flicks on the paper. Okay, so we've gone in with the third one, and now go back in with your lighter shade, which is the one. I don't think I went in with the third one, but there you go. Let's see. Yeah, I did. There we are. Go back in with the one, and you can take these further down now. You can start to flick further down. If you don't want that huge gap of light across there, then start to take your lightest one further down. If you had an even lighter one, you could use that. You know, it depends on what shade you want the end of the result to be. Keep going. Some people like to cover up the whole of the white. I quite like to see a little bit of it because it looks quite, you know, the shading on it looks really quite nice if there's a little bit of white, because it does look like natural sun. Yeah, flick up, keep going. And then once you've done that and you've got where the light's going to be, I think I'll leave it the light looking like that. Okay, because I'm going to go back in and reinforce the dark shades here. Again, bring them up a little bit longer. You should be able to see now quite clearly. I can. I'm hoping that the camera is good enough to be able to pick up them dark tones. There we are. As you can see now, and then bring these ones down. Turn it. There we are, bring them up. Don't forget to bring them from wherever you see the shade naturally occurs on the picture, because the more you do that, you see the way you're picking up the twists and the turns of the hair. There we are. And then because you've used that one again, then you can go back down to the mid-tone again and keep going. Or you can go even darker and add some more darker. There we are. But you can start to see the way the hair is building up and building up. I'm going to go in with the lightest one now. And bring the light tones down a little bit further. And as you bring them in, you can see them blending the colours that's gone before. This light one's really quite clever for that. So there we go. So we've got hair that looks really cool, natural shine. You can see the natural shine coming through there. Now you can go as dark or as light as you want. So I'm going to leave it like that. And then I'm just going to do the eyes to show you how to give. I'm using, they're like a tealy, turquoisey blue colours. I've got 360, 363 and 369. So, colour the whole of the eye with the lightest one. Okay. Then find the darkest one, which in this case is 369, and bring it down just there, just underneath the eyelid, to about halfway down. Okay. Then go in with the mid-tone, which is the 363, and again just blend out them little harsh lines of the dark one you've put in. Okay, and then if you wish, you can go back in again and just add a little bit more dark to the top. There we are. Now I'll pull her up to the light, to the camera, and you can see the way that the eyes have got some shade on and the hair has too. So there's lots and lots of white pieces in the hair there. One way, if you don't like that, I don't mind it, but if you don't like it, just take your lighter shade again in your browns, which for me was 461, and you can just gently cover, I think it was 461, 361, yeah, gently cover up some of that light in the middle there. So once you've done that, obviously you then have got to go in with your others and darken up the others, because you've took out some of the. So if you decide, I just want to show you, if you decide that it's not as dark as you want it, you can still change it, as you can see. Reinforce where the dark parts are. And every time you do that, every time you reinforce the dark parts, you make the light parts lighter. There we are. I'll go in with the mid-tone again. Some people don't like white bits in the hair. Okay, there we are. And then I'm going to go back in with the light one and flick them out. You can still see the different tones where it's coming darker from, but now I've taken out the white. It's just to show you how you can do both bits. You can still see that the hair has shade where the light is hitting it, but there's no white parts in case you wanted to do it that way. Some people really like the blended look. There we are. You can still see the dark and light shades in her hair. There we are. So I hope that's helpful to you, and I'll see you again soon.